It's been more than 2 years since we started this process, and it started as more of a arts-focused and arts-centric product, and now it's become more about redeveloping and revitalizing an important corridor and a historic corridor in the city of Lawrence.
And the really exciting thing about this East 9th Corridor plan is that finally the city of Lawrence is actually doing for East Lawrence what East Lawrence has been calling for over 15 years. So I think it's really exciting.
The three main initiatives were to hire a director of arts and culture in Lawrence, to have an outside consultant write a cultural plan for Lawrence, and then to develop the East 9th Street project to tie the warehouse district with downtown Lawrence. David Corliss said that the city would support the financing of the street improvements if we got this grant.
These grants, which embed the artist in the process, bring the artist in early, and the artist and the materials the artist is going to use, those are all paid for by the grant. I just was extremely excited, and when we got it, I thought, everybody's going to love this. Everybody's going to go, this is the best thing that's ever happened to Lawrence.
I'm gratified to know that it was such a collaborative effort, not just with the design team, which is an astonishing team, but also to bring in the public so plainly and so openly as this project has.
I think the main change that it's making is just giving us connectivity in our city, giving us a street that has art, a street that we were granted through the Arts Center the ability to hire local, regional, national artists to create something very special, a place that you can travel on, whether you're walking, biking, in a wheelchair, and you can have the opportunity to experience some amazing art.
Well, we pride ourselves as being a walkable and bicycle-friendly community, and if you try to take a walk down 9th Street currently, or even ride your bike, you'll see immediately that that would be a grade F failure when it comes to walkability and ease of access for people with any kind of disability.
The difference for me is that if it existed, my quality of life would explode. It would be so much different than it is now, because it would enable me to get out and about in the community by myself. There is no way to tell who is gonna need accessibility at what point in their lives. So you're not just talking about one segment of a population, you're talking about potential accessibility for everybody.
Poorly lit paths that are rocky are not the best for me, and I don't think for anyone. So to have a nice, artistically done pathway is going to be really exciting.
I'm really excited to see where this art is going to go when we talk about lighting and the uniqueness of lighting. And I also am a full believer in the mixed-use path that's happening and the connectivity of our city.
The historic character of East Lawrence, as I understand it, has been one of great change over the years. And to be where we are, where every group has ratified, has been truly a gratifying experience and something right on the edge of finishing this up. We ought to just get it done.
One way to tell whether or not the community has listened to the citizens is to go through the city's website and click on all the links of all the documents associated with the project.
People look to Lawrence as the place to kind of find leadership, especially in the arts. The 9th Street project is really all about art.
I think it's important because the arts contribute a tremendous amount to Lawrence.
Lawrence is on the radar screen of a lot of people nationally, and I don't think this would be a good story that would come out if we lost this.
If we renege on this grant, how are we as artists going to be able to go in the future and say, please donate money to our community so we can do these insightful and innovative projects that we want to do?
There's no way that we should do anything else other than to say yes. It means so much more. East Lawrence is really now connected and no longer a barrier exists.
The really bad thing about that would happen if this fails, is that it sends the message to all the people that are kind of looking at us that we're not as hip as we told you we were. Art is not nearly as important as we told you it was here. And that's the thing that you don't want to see happen, because we're the hope of the state. We're really the hope of the state. It's the reason why I live in Kansas. I mean, people always go, why are you living in Kansas? And there's a lot of reasons, but the main reason is that Lawrence is a hip place. But for it to stay hip, it has to grow. It has to build upon that, and this would help do that.
I support the East 9th design.
I support the East 9th project.
I support the East 9th project.
I support the East 9th design.
I support East 9th Street.
I support the East 9th project.
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 I support the East 9th project.